apologise in advance for this introduction because you might watch us now and then see it very soon in the English lesson we're wearing different clothes. That's because we keep messing up. And we're wearing Thursday's clothes, delivering Wednesday's introduction, and for us right now it's Tuesday. So you can see why it gets confusing. But anyway, here's what we're doing on day 3 of Learning Lockdown from Liverpool College.
We're going to have some English first, followed by some maths.
Then, after that, we want to make sure we get this right. It's reading, some comprehension today.
Moving on to possibly my favourite one yet, Wednesday's Creative Challenge.
Yeah, here's a good one today. Then it's time for history. We've got a really exciting history lesson, and even better, it's not from us. We're going to help you cross live to a World War II bunker for your lesson.
Yes, and then we're going back to grow a new skill that we did on Monday, and we want to see your progression as we show you ours with the skills that we've been practicing.
And finally, like all good school days, we're going to end with our extracurricular program, and it's brought to you by our good friends at Equip. Check out what they've got to say here.
Hey, Mr. A, Mr. S, thank you so much for the fantastic day of activities yesterday. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys have got in store for us today. We've got some fantastic extracurricular activities for you. We have got some sensible soccer, garden football sessions. Our today's focus is close control. We've also got a multi-sport session. Lucy's going to be taking the lead on this and delivering a weekly session. And today's focus is catching techniques. We've also got a craft session, and all you'll need is a pen and paper. We're going to do some simple, easy steps to drawing your own monkey. And there's tons of other stuff as well. So let's have a fantastic day doing some educational activities, extracurricular activities. Stay positive and let's get cracking.
Thank you very much, Equip. Well, our clothes are going to change, but the lesson's going to continue. 3, 2, 1.
Today's English task is all about being descriptive. We had the professor yesterday, we're not inviting him back, to tell us about adjectives and what they meant. Right, you may be wondering why the screen has gone black. Well, those two idiots on the screen there have forgotten to introduce this segment when we give you your feedback. So we've interrupted them and we'll do it for you.
Fools!
First of all, this has come from Finley in Dorset, and he has given us a wonderful list of his adjectives. And look at that beautiful word there, motionless. Excellent work,
Fantastic
Finley.
Word. Here comes Noah J from Liverpool as well. Adjectives about his cat. It's better to see you not shooting that cat with an arrow like you were yesterday.
Look how cute that cat is, isn't it lovely? And they, a lot of people have struggled with the letter X, but they've said xylophone because his belly looks like a xylophone. I think we'll give them that.
Oh, fair enough.
Then we've got Alicia and Anya who've sent in this picture of their brother who they decided to describe as a list of adjectives. Some are quite nice, some are not so nice. Look at that, grumpy and nosy. So I feel sorry for Akshay there.
Then moving on to Jack and Ella, some fantastic adjective lists from both of them here, and thanks for the nice message, Jack.
Okay, this is from Vasya, I hope we're saying that right, and she sent us some more superb work on adjectives. It's very colourful, and look at this word here, is that xanth? Xanth? I presume that's a colour, but very good anyway, well done.
Eleanor, some wonderful adjectives all about the beautiful dream catcher.
Look at that dream catcher, fantastic. And finally, this has come from Josh and Michael. Here they are looking happy to do their work, and they've sent us this work, and they've used the word xerophilus or filius. No idea what that means. Maybe we should ask the professor.
There's no filiuses around.
Thank you, guys.
Xerophilus.
So those adjectives that you prepared yesterday will come really handy for today's task, Mr. A.
So we are looking at describing today. That's what descriptive, it's the root word, that's where it comes from. We're looking at describing settings, not just something boring like this. This is green. It is 10 centimetres long.
Is it time for this?
I'm not going to tell you. We're going to describe a setting. Now, while we teach you 3 skills we'd like to see today, we're going to describe our studio, non-studio to you, because we're going to practice the 3 following skills. First one, noun phrases and expanded noun phrases. And Mr. S is going to teach us about those in a second. Then we're going to look at prepositions, and I will try and have a go at explaining those. And finally, using your senses. Okay? Now, if you are struggling with any of these, of course, in the description down below. In the description down below. Click the little arrow button thing just next to us here. Drop it down. There's loads of stuff in there. There'll be things in there to help you. Mr. S, kick us off. Noun phrases and expanded noun phrases. Can you come up with a few noun phrases for our studio?
I can. So let's think of a random noun. I'm going to look around this room and I'm going to say chair, because there's lots of chairs in this room.
I mean, there's 2.
You can edit this later, can't you?
That one and this one.
So we have our noun chair. Now to make this a noun phrase is really simple. We just have to add an adjective to the word chair. So I'm going to write it again, but this time with an adjective.
Maybe while Mr. S is doing this, you could be choosing an object in your home, writing it down as a noun, and now chucking an adjective before it. Build this sentence with us.
So now I've added a pretty simple, not the most exciting adjective, but I've now got red chair. So here is my noun. This is a noun phrase, okay? It's an adjective with a noun together. It's a noun phrase. And now I can expand that noun phrase by adding a little extra detail, yes, about that chair. So let's see what we can come up with. I've now got red chair with 4 legs. It's pretty boring. It's not the most exciting thing I could write, but it is an expanded noun phrase because we've now added with this word with some extra detail to describe the chair. Gone from having just chair, you could be picturing any kind of chair, then we've got red chair, and now we've got red chair with 4 legs. By expanding your noun with some extra description, you can paint a much better picture in the reader's mind of the things that you are talking about. So they are our expanded noun phrases.
Brilliant. Now I'm going to just chuck, to help me teach my skill, keep it on there, I'm going to chuck a little determiner at the start. We're not teaching those today. Maybe you might want to use the internet to find out what a determiner is. I'm going to put a determiner at the start of this phrase to kick me off, teaching you about prepositions. That's a determiner. The red chair with 4 legs. Now I'm going to expand the sentence even further by using a preposition. Now a preposition, it's all in the name. It talks about the position or where an object is. Now it can be so much more than you actually think. And if you click on the word mat below, you'll see loads of prepositions that you probably didn't even know were prepositions. I'm going to be like Mrs. S, nice and simple. The red chair with 4 legs. The red chair with 4 legs is next to the table. Well, my preposition here is next. It's next to the table. It's not on the table. It's not under the table. It is next to the table. Now, we've got noun phrases, expanded noun phrases. You can chuck in prepositions to make it go even further. One final skill for today, your senses. Now, when we use our senses, we're talking about 5 senses. We're talking about taste, smell, see, touch, and hear. If you forget those, there's a link down below. Now, I want to talk about this chair. I'm not going to taste it. That wouldn't be a very sensible sense.
Hang on. Don't taste it.
No. Smell it? Not after he's been sat on it. I could look at it, but I'm going to choose to touch it. Okay, I'm going to use my sense touch. The red chair with 4 legs is next to the table. And now, because I need to expand the sentence even further, I'm going to use a little connective here. If you want some connectives, go to lesson 1, March 23rd, lesson 1, English. There's a connective word map under that lesson there. The red chair with 4 legs is next to the table and feels really hard. It's not the comfiest of chairs. But look what we've done. We've used 3 skills to make our sentence. In fact, we've used 4 skills, not 5 actually, to make our sentence far more exciting. We started with a noun. We then made a noun phrase by chucking an adjective. We then used an expanded noun phrase to add more information. Chucked the determiner in there to start our sentence. We put a preposition in, a connective, and finally we used our senses to describe it. Now we've only chosen one object in our studio. We want you though to describe not your home, not our studio, but your ideal location to be during this lockdown. Now you might not be there. You might not be there at this time, but if you could be anywhere right now, where would you be? And we don't want just one sentence. We want a paragraph or 2 describing this setting. But we want you, and there is a checklist below, to include prepositions, expanded noun phrases, and your senses. Be careful with your senses. Don't just use a sense because you think, I haven't used that one yet. Make sure it's appropriate to what you are describing.
We will give a shout out to the ones that we think are best, the ones we think have had a lot of effort put into them. Make sure when you're writing here that you are writing sentences. It's very easy with a task like this to just write phrases, okay? Just to write the red chair with 4 legs and leave it there, okay? It has to be a sentence. You need a verb, like we've got is, in there with your noun to make it a sentence.
Absolutely. And remember, we've just been talking about the chair here. The moment you move on to a new noun, you probably want to start a new sentence unless you're connecting 2 together with a connective.